Hi, and welcome along to One Way Football. I'm joined here today. It's the first time for everything, and it's one-on-one fan talk. And today I'm joined with Daniel, who is a Watford fan. And to be fair, you're our first ever Watford fan to come onto the show.
Oh,
so there's a first time for everything, and you know what? And you're welcome, massively welcome, mate. We're going to talk about the ongoings at Watford. They currently sit, I think, in the relegation zone, but they do have, I think, 2 games in hand over Norwich, don't they?
Yes, if we can make up the wins, then that's fine. Otherwise, we're stuck behind.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the past fixtures, and I was like, when you had that fantastic performance against Man United. I mean, everyone was blown away by that. If you'd have said that you were going to, I think, was it 4-1, was it?
Yeah, I was there. It was fantastic.
And I think if anyone was to tell you before that game that you were going to beat Man United 4-1, you'd laughed at them, wouldn't you?
Yeah. It just never happens. So it was great to be there and experience it.
Yeah, and then just after that, though, it just seems like you just failed to follow up on that performance after that game. It kind of plummeted a little bit after that.
Well, look, we that's how we can perform. And that's what's most frustrating for all of us is that we know we've done it against Everton, we did it against United, we played really well against Chelsea, you got something. And then the rest of the fixtures is just subpar for the quality of player that we have, which is so frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, like Ranieri, right? I want to talk about Ranieri, right? Like all season, you've had 4 wins, 2 draws, and 14 losses. I think the only other team that can match that is Norwich because of obviously the games in hand. They've had four wins, I think, and 4 draws and 14 losses or something like that. But was it too early for Ranieri to be sacked from Watford, do you think? Because it wasn't. He didn't have a lot of time, did he?
No, I think under normal circumstances, of course, you'd be given more time. If this was the beginning of the season, we're thinking, well, he's going to build a team. He's putting his stamp on it. But now, we're in the situation we are, we can't afford to go down. So the owners have made, a really tough decision, but probably the right one.
Yeah, I mean, but just talk us through what went wrong for him, though. Just go through the stages of what you think went wrong for Ranieri.
Well, it was a really bright start. Performances like Everton away, winning 5-2, getting a hat-trick out of Josh King, that was just music to our ears. But we had a really long run of top 4 teams to play against, and we played them all back-to-back, and we got through it, and we thought, yeah, fine, we got more than we thought we would, points-wise. Now we're going to kick on in the new year, and we didn't. It was like the players just came back and just went back 5 steps in terms of their performances, in terms of their collective teamwork. Players started, visibly sulking and arguing on the pitch, and players getting sent off. Like Emmanuel Dennis, he was flying, and then all of a sudden he's just not producing the goods and head down and getting sent off. And also we've missed some players at the African Cup of Nations as well. So we've got some key players out there who are just returning back now. Sar's still out there playing. He's our biggest goal threat apart from Emmanuel Dennis. So the squad's a little bit up in the air team-wise. So that's, it's difficult for the manager in terms of Ranieri, but defensively, we were getting worse every week. And that you can't see 3 goals at home to Norwich. Just can't.
No.
We beat them away. We should be at least getting a point at home.
Yeah, I mean, if looking at that fixture as well, I would have said that Watford would have beaten Norwich. Looking at Norwich's form of run, do you know what I mean? And for halfway through the first half of the season, they had no points on the sheet. Do you know what I mean? They were bottom of the league. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's kind of helped him out a little bit though, the games in hand and stuff, and the way the league is formed out and played out now, it's helped a lot of teams. Do you know what I mean? It's
it's helping Burnley at the moment, that's for sure.
Well, it's helping Burnley, which is your next game up, actually. I think in the league, isn't it?
Yeah. We're all brooking it for this new striker they've signed today, the 6'6" mountain of a man from the Bundesliga.
Right.
He's got a 1-2 goal record over there. So he's like their version of Peter Crouch.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Brilliant. I mean,
so we'll see. So
deadline day.
From process, it might be challenging.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, deadline day is a very tricky day. It's a very tense day, I think, for a lot of clubs, especially like now being like an Arsenal fan myself. I know that by first hand. We're loaning players out and we're not actually bringing anyone in, so I'm stressed out today. But you can imagine. But Roy Hodgson, like he's now in charge. A bit of fresh air in the club. So what are we going to expect for Roy to bring to Watford and bring to the table?
I think primarily clean sheets, which we haven't had all year.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you have no clean sheets. Wow.
Yeah, so we're basically used to being punched in the face every week by opposition fans when they celebrate a goal, and we sometimes draw or win, but it's very rare because we're conceding so many. So Hodgson's going to basically structure and organise our defence, and anyone who doesn't want to do what he wants to do will be out the team. And he's got so much experience that we're all kind of quietly confident that he's going to improve collectively our defending. But the worry is, are we ever going to go in the penalty area in the opposite end? Are we going to take away all of our attacking prowess, which we've enjoyed all season, where we counter-attack at will and we hurt teams? We've been one of the best attacking teams for XG, but now that's probably going to be pulled back to a safe pattern of play. Is it going to be turgid? Is it going to be awful to watch? We just don't know. But we do have faith in him that we'll get more points with him at the helm.
Yeah. Do you think there's going to be much change in the back staff and the whole feel about the behind the scenes? Do you think he's going to change any of that?
I don't think he's got time. I don't think he cares. I think he's just focused on, I don't know how many games he's left, 18. I think he's just focused on those games and getting probably a big bonus at the end if we stay up.
Yeah.
He's brought in Ray Lewington as his right-hand man, and that's brilliant because he was a Watford manager 20 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
And he was a respected guy. He built a good team on very limited funds. So as a combination of the two of them, we've got, old Watford kind of borderline legend with absolute legend manager who's been in this position before with 3 other Premier League teams who have been escaped relegation under his helm. It looks, I think our opponents, our competitors around, Burnley, Newcastle and Norwich will look over the shoulders quite worried the fact that we've got Roy Hodgson. They might go out and sign star players, but we're going to have one of the most equipped coaching staff to help us get out of this problem.
As well. Experienced, it's he's no like novice of the game, is he? Let's put it out there. Yeah, no, exactly. He's been there, he's done it, he's seen it. He's been in the same position actually as where Watford is now, so he knows the score, he knows what he's got to do. It's just, can he do it though? Can he, it's, you see these managers go to like Newcastle, for instance. You get Rafa go to and it's, you don't really see it happening. It's and
you don't know until they start playing.
Exactly.
Look at Rafa Benitez at Everton, complete flop. Who would have thought that? Rafa, great defensive coach. You think he's going to build a team? Yeah, it didn't work for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So you just don't know until the first. And also, Hodgson's record of new teams is a long run of games without getting their first win.
Yeah,
which we can't afford.
No,
other places it's taken him 6-8 games to get a win, and we need a win now. Otherwise, we're going to fall behind.
100%. And that goes back to what you said about players arguing and stuff. Do you think players now these days have too much say in their career? Because the managers don't seem to be able to control these players as much as what they used to. And it all leads down to money again, doesn't it? Who's got the biggest pockets and who, and I feel like, players that score 1 or 2 goals, like per game, they have too much to say about the matter.
Mm.
And it
Yeah,
falls,
I think
that falls back on the manager, because then he's stuck in that position. Then it's like it's I want kind of thing, but do I give? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think there's something in that, especially with the model at Watford, because the hierarchy are all about trading players to make additional revenue on top of our matchday revenue and TV revenue. So they look at a player, they bring it in, and it's an absolute stepping stone for the next opportunity in the Premier League or the Champions League team. So they're trying to groom and grow this player. And if they're not getting game time through the head coach that they've employed, then they'll be knocking at the head coach's door and saying, "Why aren't you playing this player?" Like João Pedro, for example.
yeah,
Who's like the next Richarlison off the So but I think in this short term must save ourselves scenario, that's out the window temporarily. They're not care about player development right now. They just want to stay in the Premier League, and then they'll start their model again next season.
Yeah. Let's look at your next 5 games coming up. Obviously, we talked about you got Burnley coming up. That's away as well. So you got Burnley, you got West Ham away. You're only home out of the 5 games. I'm going to just split it out now. Your only home game is against Brighton. So you're away to West Ham, then home to Brighton, away to Villa, and then away to Man United, which is the biggest game out of all of them, because Man United's going to be out for blood from
and
that
Villa,
game.
Because we beat Villa.
Yeah, of course.
Season,
of course.
They're fine.
So coming out of like the kind of break, are you in the FA Cup still? This is being from Arsenal support. I don't even know who's in the FA Cup now. I'm like, nah, no, I don't need that. So out of them 15 points there, how many points do you think you're going to get out of them?
It's such a difficult one, because if I look at it through the lens of just having lost to Norwich, we won't win anything. We'll get beaten by them all. Yeah. But I can't have that hat on, because I think Roy's going to do good work. I think we're going to get a 0-0 against Burnley, and then we can build our performances from there. By the time we play United, if he's doing his job, then we should only concede 1 or maybe 2 goals against United away, which gives us a fighting chance of getting maybe a point. But we've got to be playing really well by then. We've got to have our attackers really firing to get anything from Old Trafford.
Yeah. I mean, can Watford turn it around though? This is the last time. Everyone says it, squeaky bum time. Can Watford just manage? Because I've seen a picture on your Twitter account with it on the back. Have you got it on? Have you got it on? There we go. Staying up. Yeah. Okay.
I still believe.
Okay. You still believe? I mean, I hope to God this doesn't fall back on you. I hope this. See, look, even the camera's falling back. It's in amazement. But yeah, like I said, you've got 2 games over Norwich in hand. The question is, can they turn it around? Can you stay up?
I think if Roy and Ray as a combo can help us out, I think they should get the freedom of Watford, from the mayor, and be in a shout of manager of the season award, because it is a mammoth task. We are hoping with that, but the thing is, the hope kills you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we have to be careful. I have to temper my emotions, not get too emotionally invested, otherwise I'll be so upset.
Of course.
I really, really hope that they can.
Of course. And obviously, the teams around you aren't doing that great anyway. And a lot of the teams now do have new managers. I mean, you can even put probably Everton in that mix, if you get what I mean.
Hopefully they'll be pulled into it, and Brentford as well.
Yeah, because it gets that high. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's not even like, it's just 4 teams battling it out. It's quite high in the league. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very close.
Leeds United as well. I mean, I think Leeds are the ones that perhaps we can drag in. They're closest to the pack at the bottom, and I think that all the teams at the bottom, maybe not Norwich, because I'm not convinced about their quality.
Yeah.
But Newcastle for sure, they will have a strong finish, and you wouldn't bet against Burnley either.
Yeah.
So we're all got to be getting points every week.
So I'm going to ask you a tricky question. Who's your bottom 3 to go down then? I'm not trying to be too biased now.
So this is what I'm hoping that happens.
Yeah.
This
is what your heart says. No, your head says. Sorry.
Yeah. So I think Norwich.
Yeah.
And then Leeds, and then I'm really hoping Brentford.
Really? No,
we shall see.
Yeah, no, I think Burnley have kind of had it though, haven't they? They seem to be a bit worn out as well. But with Watford, it is a like so many times you see Watford go down, come up the next season, go down. Do you know what I mean? You're never really down in the Championship for too long. You're always
because we've got really good owners. When we're in the Championship, they can find quality players that help us to win that league. So we're too good for the Championship. If we go down, we will come back up again straight away. No question. We bought players in the January window, 4 players who would play in the Championship for us because they see Premier League as a massive thing. It's not they're entitled to play in the Premier League at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we will bounce back up again. The question is, can we survive in the Premier League and grow from there?
Yeah. I mean, if you can just get out of that relegation zone and build off of what you've got now for next season, I mean, you could creep up the table a little bit. Yeah, I'm not saying massive things are going to happen, but
that's exactly what we did last time around. We got promoted and we were at 2015-16 season. We comfortably survived in the Premier League. We built on it every single season to the point where we were challenging Wolves for Europa League spots and winning, knocking Wolves out the FA Cup semi-final as well. And then it started our descent for whatever reason. I think it was, getting beat 6-0 by Man City.
I think teams though that come up from the Championship, they still have that excitement and do you know what I mean? Like Leeds and their first, their last season or the season before? I can't remember now.
Brentford this season as well.
Yeah, their expectations are low to start with, but they end up being overrated and being finish 10th or 9th or do you know what I mean? And you go, oh bloody hell, they did quite well to be fair in their first season of being in the Premier League. But that goes for the ambition they have when they move up. They have that fight still, don't they? And that excitement. And Watford do this every time they do go down. They come back up, and to be fair, Watford are a bogey team for some of the big teams. And you've shown it.
Arsenal being one.
Yeah, 100%. I've got flashbacks of Troy Deeney. Have we got the cojones? No, we haven't. But Daniel, mate, it's been lovely speaking to you. Hopefully we can get back on the show again at some point. Maybe at the end.
Well, hopefully it's talk about our Premier League season next season.
Yeah, and maybe when you face us again, we'll do a combined 11 or something.
Nice
that'll be a tricky one anyway, because we don't actually have a starting team now. We loaned them all out. But don't forget to like and subscribe, share the video, and we shall catch you very, very soon. Thank you, Daniel, mate.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
One Way Football.